All right, I'll be the MC. Okay, so I think we can get started. So Todd, do you want to talk about your highlight of the week?
Okay. It was not supposed to be in the highlights.
Oh, okay.
When I started, it was just in the agenda. Someone changed that. Sorry. Okay. I can talk about. I think the highlight today is the 0.30 for 4.1, or maybe it was last week. I wasn't there.
Oh, the patch release. Yeah, that went out on Monday.
Yeah, no, this week.
This week, yeah. Why don't we start there? Do you want to talk about it? I think
I have a point.
Yeah,
about
we have
that.
Aldo in the agenda.
I have a point about that, but I didn't put it on the weekly highlights. My bad. I can move it. Just a moment. Okay, here we go. Yep. Yep. I just wanted to say that we shipped the patch release on Monday. Everything went smooth. So the bugs. That one was about the HTTP output with SSL certificates, and we also there was some fixes and cleanups about memory management in the libs, and nothing else, I think. So we shipped them, and everything should be fixed now. And I would like to thank the maintainers who helped me throughout the process. This was my first time as a release manager, so fortunately it was a small one, but yeah, it was let's say nice. So thank you.
It doesn't only fix the issue of the HTTP output. We also faced some issue with some plugins. All plugins that were that have to call an external API, for example, for collecting the audit logs from Amazon or GCP, they faced the same issue because the certificate store wasn't filled with the correct one.
Okay, anything else to add to this? Thanks so much, Aldo, for leading this. We appreciate it. And I've also added the link to the release blog for 34.1. Okay. Anybody else want to add items before we move on to the next topic? Alrighty, so just really quickly, the next point is about the community survey that I launched last week. So far we've got 6 responses, and it really only takes 5.5 minutes to complete. So please submit your survey. And I've been sending out some swag bundles already, so folks are getting a water bottle and a t-shirt if you want something to incentivize you. And then the next thing as well, Leo isn't here. I know Leo, in regards to graduation, I know I was in the TOC meeting yesterday, and so it looks like they're getting close to wrapping up that process. So right now, I think we're probably we're gonna know something either by early March, mid-March. So I just wanted to kind of start planting the seed in regards to activities we want to do for graduation. So one of the things that I was proposing was, what if as a community we created a video with maybe like 3 of the maintainers and 3 of the adopters, record themselves like 15-20 seconds, and then I can stitch all of that together, and that could be like what it means to reach this milestone, and then the adopters would just be really like congratulating the project. So that's an idea. I also reached out to the CNCF to understand what sort of support the project gets when we do reach that milestone. So basically their PR team will be reaching out to the project So they'll be working on a press release and blog, and that would go on the CNCF website. So yeah, just kind of planting the seed as a community, like what do we want to do once we do reach this milestone? So I don't know if the, if we want to discuss or if we want to just like put a pin on this and we can come back to this topic later.
We can come back on this, and maybe we can post it also in the Falco channel if someone want to join, for example, like external adopters or like that. For maintainers, I think that we are at least 3, so it's okay.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So the next one, just as a reminder, we relaunched Contributor of the Month. So I've opened the issues for nominations for January and February. And I've also linked them there. So if you haven't had a chance to submit your nomination, please do so. And then my goal is to announce on the 28th who these folks are. And that's it for me. So handing it over to Dimitri.
Yep, that would be me.
Hello.
And that was unexpectedly quick. So hi everyone. I think I'm the first one here, although I'm working with Mauro relatively frequently on the various Falco topics, but that's the first time I decided to show up because it's a sort of a heads up discussion that I wanted to propose, or we wanted to propose about, and hear your opinion, of course, about making the lowest version for modern probes, for Falco probes, a little bit more flexible. So right now what happens is that there is essentially like a straight cutoff line, 5.8, 5.8, and nothing below is going to be supported. Although there are distros who are back patching all the necessary stuff on the earlier versions. So what I'm working on right now is that essentially a proof of concept for something that is, well, derived from BPF tool, when essentially we verify that BTF is supported and using libbpf helper to verify that ring buffers are also supported. So it looks very straightforward. So I wanted to know your opinion about whether or not this is a like go or no go for verifying the lowest supported variant for Falco.
Yeah, thank you first of all for pointing out that, because it was on my roadmap, but I had no time to address it. But yes, we can for sure do that. I have already seen that there are helpers of the BPF that help us in doing this, as you said. So we can easily include it in the code directly. Right now there is an if def maybe on the minimum kernel version, if I remember well. But we can remove that and set some checks with the BPF. So absolutely, we can do that. I don't know, you said that you have already done a POC. Maybe if you want to share these somewhere, and we can see that these, for me, is perfect. And you help us a lot with this, so super.
Yeah, I think I can open a PR for discussions in the coming days, so we can probably talk about this in more details. The only thing I wanted to make it differ from the BPF tool is that the idea is probably to make it extremely flexible to even let it, like people theoretically configure where to find, for example, a kernel config, because theoretically BPF tool try to discover this, but obviously, in the wild, it could be everywhere. So it makes sense to like make it as flexible as possible, but otherwise it's relatively straightforward.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for
thanks. That was it from me.
I have a small question about that. Is that something we should add directly in the probe or an external tool? Just to check if the environment is okay, if the kernel can match with a modern probe and download the probe from elsewhere.
Can you repeat the first part I have missed? So
is it supposed to be directly inside the modern probe, or is it an external tool?
Well, my idea was to put it in this modern engine, but on the user space side of things. I'm not actually, to be honest, I'm not sure where exactly to put it, whether it should belong to libb manager or somewhere higher in the engine itself. I think the engine itself would be more appropriate way, but yeah, it's going to be not in the probe, of course, directly, but like on the loader side, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I agree on that. Okay. Probably we'll put it in the engine, or we can see maybe also in libbman, just almost indifferent, but it's okay in the user space part, let's say.
I'm just saying that because for downloading stuff or for checks, basically, we can also use Falco curl aside just to make people aware if their environment is already ready for the probe, and so without starting the whole process to install the probe itself.
Yeah, let's say, but the model probe is already embedded in the library, so you don't have to check for an external source. So it's okay also to have directly embedded it. But thank you for the point. The next is you, Thomas.
Yeah. Can I show my screen? I think so. Is it okay for you? Yeah, I think so. The feedback is nice.
Yeah.
Maybe you already know because I showed that several times on the Slack channel, but I started a POC about a basic UI around the Falco rules. Basically, it scraps all rules we have and generates an index in JSON format. And with that, we can display everything in a nice, I can't say nice, but at least in a UI. We can filter for by
Better than before.
priority. Yes, sorry?
Better than before, for sure.
I don't know. I hope so. We can filter by clicking everywhere, of course. So where you have the name, the priority, the type, so if you click on the file, it is automatically highlighting exact rule or the exact macro, the exact list. It's not just rules. Macro and list are managed, so you can have access to the origin file directly, and if you click on name, you have all details about the rules, status, output, the descriptions. Just before in the files, you have sometimes the descriptions before the rule, and you also have some details about the quick engine and so. And the dependencies. So this rule depends depends on all these lists, for example. And if we click on that list, you have access directly. It's just an explorer basically, and for other things you also have macros. Yes, for this one you can see this macro depends on another macro and is used by this rule, for example. It's really basic. It's static, so no need to have a backend, basically. And if you have feedbacks, comments about new features you would like to have, or critiques also, and I will try maybe tomorrow, next week, it depends my workload, to integrate that directly in the rules repository. Right now, we only have a Markdown file listing some rules with their tags, their details, how they fit with the meter framework. And I would like to integrate that like a GitHub page for that repo. We have a dedicated branch like we did for the kernel crawler, basically.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. This is super powerful in my opinion. And also with the burn of Falco Cattle, this could help us a lot with searching for some rules set and see it with all the tags and macros. And this is, in my opinion, super. I don't know if you want to donate these to the Falco security organization, or if you already done this. I don't
I will
remember.
directly propose a PR on the rules repository.
Okay, thank you. So part of the rules repository.
Yeah.
As a part. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. For the kernel crawler, for example, we have a specific branch, and its purpose is just to generate some JSON, and we have an index HTML to display them. It's not related to the main branch, and it's dedicated. So everything is managed with the CI for the updates.
Okay.
Federico is not there today, but he did it. It works quite well. So I think we can reproduce that behavior without creating a new one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you for the update.
Okay, Ajamal?
Yeah, I think It's my turn. Hi, everyone. So I think I mentioned a couple times here that I've been working on some of the content that could be useful for the new user coming to falco.org and thinking about like how we can enhance the UI and make it look pretty. And yeah, I have worked on this page that I mentioned before that I proposed of adding about section for Falco in falco.org site that would contain like very high level information and also act as an place where people can find like links to very important, let's say, docs, blogs, and other things as a reference page. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through proposed design because some of this has placeholder text, but I think we can spend more time when the PR is ready. But I just wanted to share like the styling and the look and feel that we are going for here. So here's the about section that we're proposing, and this page can be like, this section can have more content, like more pages in it. And I have added like annotations on this PDF. So if you're curious about it, please take a look at the comments and everything. But what it has, it's basic like very high level, gentle introduction into runtime, like what is runtime security, why it matters, and giving more like architectural explanation of what is Falco, how it works, and so on and so forth. And a lot of this content, by the way, is taken from Falco book. I think Leo and some in the community wrote it, so I don't claim the credit for the for the content. So if you have any issues, please ask them. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to put at the very like top, like high level, and also kind of give links to, let's say, like Falco Psychic. Currently they don't have like highlighted links here, but for example, whenever we mention Falco Psychic for the first time, we want the user to have like very easy go-to links, and then later we have like action items where people can go after, like they're also placeholders, and we can choose whatever best to read materials for the user once they land in this page. And the second thing that we are working on is the FAQ, and again, placeholder text is just, I wanted to give you like a look and feel like of how it's going to look like, but this is what is, we want to add like FAQ just with the answers to most asked questions on mainly on Slack, and Vicente Toma here helping me to kind of gather those. Sorry about noise if you're hearing that, but the actual content will be finalized like by end of this week, and next week when we create the PR, it will have the correct ones. But yeah, basically user clicks here, expands, gets the answer. This is also to like decrease the barrier for people to kind of enter the community. Before like people go to Slack and ask questions, I think they just want to get the basic questions out of the way if they have any. So that's the purpose of this page, and yeah, we'll continue on working that. I linked in the meeting notes, but I linked the issues where I shared these PDFs and everything. Please give your feedback, and we're working on the implementation, and once it's ready, the PR will be submitted, and you can add your feedback there as well. basically. That's it.
Yeah, let's say this is the first time that I see that, and I find it amazing. So really, really amazing job. All the figures, the pictures, that are really fantastic. So thank you.
Awesome.
Anyone else want to add feedback to? Or yeah, anything else to add to the agenda or any feedback to any of the team who had points today? And now's your opportunity. Okay, I guess we can conclude. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.